Two Giant Goofballs, the New York Giants podcast. I am Drew, joined as always by
me. I'm Rob, and we're live from MetLife. Postgame. What are we doing here?
And this is the first show we've done together with us both in the same location, even, which is just absolutely crazy, guys.
First time we did a show together in the state.
In the same state, even? Yeah, I guess that's true, because I'm usually in Florida pretty much there. But yeah, guys, we got a great Giants win here today. Absolute dominant win there. Rob, you got the box score. Let's get rid of the final score and start over stats and all.
Giants won 42-10, and they were just absolutely lights out dominant. Dart came out performing like big time. Dart went out 6 of 12 with 81 yards and 1 touchdown. But Danny DeVito was the guy that stole the show away because Dart left with a concussion protocol. And what was this, right towards the end of the second?
Right at the end of the second quarter there.
So DeVito was 17 of 20 with 198 yards with 3 touchdowns, which is probably his best game.
Yeah, we got to talk about him a little bit there. That might be a swan song for DeVito.
Yeah, little swan dive there. But you also can't count out that Winston that went in there to relieve Dart, and he was 4 of 8 with a big heroic touchdown. He also threw a pick in there for 47 yards.
You live by the Winston, you die by the Winston.
Yeah.
That's the Winston. That's the way the Winston crumbles.
But that's not the turtle down. Turbo time. Turbo had 11 carries, and he had 41 yards, which averaged 3.7 yards per carry. And then you also had Gerard Ward that had 6 carries, 29 yards, but he averaged 4.8 yards per carry. And Dart, once again, a top 3 contender when it comes to rushing yards. He had 23 yards, which he had one run.
Well, that was the problem. That was the 23 that he took the hit on that he shouldn't have taken. We'll get into that in a little bit, guys.
Scatterboo had 12 yards and 3 carries, and obviously that's 4 yards per carry. DeVito had 1 yard and 1 carry, and Winston had -1. So let's talk about Gunnar Olszewski.
Well, Gunnar Olszewski, point blank. We said it when we talked about the final roster. Like we said, this was kind of a match between him and Mir Smith-Marset, of course, for their role of returner/receiver that doesn't actually receive. But it seems like that's what this was a game that kind of set him apart in my eyes. Gunnar Olszewski, I think, quite frankly, probably made the roster with the move he had today.
He had a dominant play, like right there in the beginning drive.
Yeah, first drive.
Huge play. Huge. He had 68 yards for 3 receptions. So he averaged 22.7 yards per catch, but that first one was 60 yards?
Yeah, it's insane. It's moving around like crazy. And the great thing about him is, he's a little guy. He doesn't catch the ball deep. But when he catches the ball, same as he's dangerous with the punt return, he's dangerous as far as just the open field in general. And that's what he showed again on that very first drive.
100%.
Now, I don't think he'll ever be a dominant wide receiver. Let me be very clear on that, though. I'm not trying to say that. But I think he still fits a role. And I think if we end up putting him into the offense, we're not going, oh, my God, we're screwed. Look who's out there. It's Gunnar Olszewski. Like, he's not going to be replacing Neighbors anytime soon.
No, or he's not going to be replacing Wandale Robson anytime soon. Let's put that around.
Here's a scary thought for you. We're going to go to this guy in a little bit here with you guys, but would I trust him over Jalin Hyatt at this point?
You could honestly say because he outperformed Jalin Hyatt, who also had 3 catches. He had a pretty nice one, but he only had 38 yards on the day.
He did find the end zone. He found the end zone. I mean, that's something we've been saying all along. And he still doesn't have a regular season touchdown. I believe this is his second career preseason touchdown. But he did find the end zone, had a lot of drops, though, along the way. And that's been the biggest problem, really, is that the Giants were seeming like they wanted to force feed the ball over to Jalin Hyatt. It was a big goal of theirs. Yeah, you could tell this was a goal of, let's get some confidence for Jalin Hyatt. Well, I think it's safe to say there's no confidence for Jalin Hyatt after the drops he had today. Obviously the touchdown helps. Pay dirt helps.
But there's way more disheartening facts going into that first quarter.
Yes.
Besides that touchdown, because that touchdown, it came off of Skeffsky's big catch. So let's be real. He got that touchdown because we're in the red zone, close yardage, and he's supposed to be a guy that's supposed to break away and do what Gunnar did from the get-go, and
Just
he couldn't do it.
doesn't-
He's dropped the ball in the distance.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that was a different drive than Gunner, but yeah, I mean, either way, Gunner Olszewski had a better day point blank than Jalin Hyatt did. You know, and Jaxson Dart point blank. As we're mentioning that, we have to say Jaxson Dart had a better day than his numbers even showed because of the drops. It wasn't just Jalin Hyatt. There was a couple of drops on the day, point blank. I didn't see a single pass in this game from Jalin Hyatt. From Jaxson Dart that I'm like, that was a bad throw. There was a couple that were kind of tight windows. He was trying to make something happen, but there wasn't one pass that I was like, that's a bad. Why did you make that decision? Why did you make that throw?
No, even with a couple of drops from Hyatt, even there was some like they're just a little over his head. Like you see, he was kind of trying to needle that thread in there, but he just, Dart looked good, and some of the other players out there, like he was starting to the second and third string. Receivers we got, and he just he threw the ball well, but.
You got to take what he had. I mean, there was no neighbors, obviously. The guys, he was suited up. That was the first time we've seen him in the actual full uniform all preseason.
So he was suited up.
Yeah. So
we had no X. You see those?
No Slayton.
Nope.
You know, no Wan'Dale Robinson. Like, literally, the number one receiver out there was supposed to be Jalin Hyatt. It was supposed to be his day.
Yeah.
And it's disappointing, especially after all the hype that was given to this kid. You know, obviously Russell Wilson's been singing his praises since the day he signed with the Giants.
Let's ride Hyatt.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. It's like I said, a very, very disappointing day as a Giants fan to see that for Hyatt. But let's be honest, nobody's probably more disappointed than Hyatt himself.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Like, if it wasn't for this contract, guys, point blank, I would tell you that Jalin Hyatt would be on the bubble right now. Might not make the team. The contract was going to keep him there, and the fact that he's a third-round pick, and that's not a good sign.
Yeah, just the money he costs alone. But, yeah, we got a Fedona out there who also had 4 catches for 39 yards, who averaged 9.8 yards per catch. So
yeah, and Ward had his big touchdown as well in the fourth quarter. Now, again, he had one very late in the game. You're talking about he's playing against people that are point-blank probably changing oil on cars at Jiffy Lube next week. But it's still a big play he had. He still had a good showing overall. I don't think he looked bad necessarily in any of the games we really had. So, you know, I think we should be looking at Ward as somebody that another team will probably pick up, you know, and I think that's where it's going to probably end up being. The other guy we talk about people picking up potentially is, we got to say, is this maybe the swan song, point blank, for DeVito? You know, it's the last preseason game of the season. We already know where things are going because you know what's going to happen. Obviously, Russell Wilson's going to make the team. He's going to be the starter. Jameis Winston is going to make the team. He's going to be the backup. And you heard Brandon Brown talk this week. They're not trading him. Jaxson Dart, obviously, he's going to be on the roster. Regardless if he's QB2 or 3, which would be a whole other debate for a different day. He's going to be on the roster. You're not going to carry 4 quarterbacks.
No, you can't.
Yeah. And listen, we all as Giant fans have a place in our heart for Tommy DeVito because of what he did for us a couple of seasons ago. He gave us at least something good on the season. But what it boils down to is there's no room for him. But what it does boil down for is there's probably room elsewhere. And I think he'll be on another team by the end of next week. I really do.
I think so.
And I kind of hope that for him. Like, I don't want to see him wallow around in the practice squad. Like,
on the Jets in no
take
time.
your shot. Take your shot.
He'll be on the Jets roster in no time.
So,
well, coming from the comments, we got Mac the Giants fan. What's up, bro?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, he said it's the goofballs.
Goofballs.
Tough cuts coming soon. Absolutely, man.
Yes.
Potato grifter. DeVito has absolutely earned a spot on the NFL roster, which we just said that. We agree.
Yep, 100%. Like I said, he'll be on someone else's roster. And I'll say this even. Maybe I'm crazy. He could probably start for the Saints.
I mean, that's like starting for the Giants last year.
Well, I'm just trying to be realistic. Like, let's be honest. He's not better than most starting quarterbacks, or really any starting quarterbacks in the NFL. But you could probably say that he'd be in the mix if he was in New Orleans.
He definitely would be in the talks.
Which is very sad for New Orleans.
Definitely in the talks. All right, we got Deb coming in saying, hi, kids. Good to see you. Good to see you, Deb.
How's it going, Deb?
All right, Mac, the Giant fans, I agree about Gunner.
Yeah.
Potato grifter. They will look quick. Wide receivers can get
He always does. And you look at what we built. We haven't built around big, tall receivers. And I think that's part of why there's other things, obviously, too. But I think that's why Kenny Golladay didn't really work with the Giants with Dable. That's not his type of system. And that's why when we did our show on the roster prediction, we said, point blank, Little Jordan Humphrey, probably not going to make it. Guys like that, they don't fit the scheme where you can force a spot on the roster for them, because what he wants is he wants the Wandells of the world. He wants, the small guys that keep going. Even Neighbors is not a big receiver.
Yeah, a quick throw, get a fast guy, get some extra yards behind the throw.
Exactly.
That's exactly what he likes. All right. Deb comes back. I was surprised about DeVito's play. So were a lot of Giants fans, Deb. Anthony comes in. DeVito had himself a game. He did.
Yeah.
Proved himself as an NFL roster quarterback.
He better be on a roster next week. Like I said, I'll feel bad if he's back. Yeah. I'll be happy. I'll be mixed. I'll be happy if he's a Giant again, because I like him as a guy on the practice squad of our fourth quarterback. We've talked about on the show before. It's nice to have the option of going ahead and not having to force out there Jaxson Dart before he's ready. If, God forbid, an injury happens to quarterback. Let's say Russell Wilson gets injured. Again, not hoping for it, but we're Giants fans. We're used to thinking about injury scenarios.
ACL. Oh,
so
I walked through the field.
Winston starts, DeVito moves up to the backup, and you still don't have to force Dart out there before he's ready to go. So that's really a nice thing to do.
Yeah. Jeff comes in and says, yes, he did, AC. Yeah, agree with you. All right, Theodore Grifter. Could Belger be in trouble? He's absolutely in trouble.
Yes.
He is probably not making this. He's probably not making the squad.
I'll say this. We said the roster prediction show that it would be the three tight ends we said. We said Theo Johnson, we said Chris Manhertz, and we said Fedone. Yep. I have to wonder, is it going to actually be Theo Johnson, Fedone, and Dulcich?
I think so. I think Manhertz might be in himself in trouble. He's showing. I'm not talking injury-wise.
Injury-wise aside, I'm saying for the season.
No, I agree with you. Manhertz, listen, he's a blocking tight end. As it is, he's like your sixth lineman, which is very valuable to this Giants offensive line for the past 10 years. But it looks like they kind of worked on some things out. He might be in trouble. Listen, he's a very serviceable tight end in this league, because what he could do as your sixth offensive lineman, he's not the guy that's going to get you some yards, which Daboll obviously wants that kind of tight end in his scheme. Look at all the teams he's been on.
Here, I'll think an interesting scenario even then. Is that maybe why they're trying Elijah Chapman at fullback, knowing that they might not have the blblocking tight end they typically had? It's like I said, it just kind of popped in there real quick. But you saw Chapman out there again at the fullback position. A little bit mixed reaction. There's one play specifically he missed the chance to get his hands on somebody there and make a good block. But he did do it the very next play. He's still kind of learning the position, guys. So keep in mind, there's going to be a little bit of give and take when it comes to Elijah Chapman as a fullback. He didn't play it much in college. He did play it in high school. But if you're counting on somebody who hasn't basically played a position since high school to excel right off the bat,
it's not fair.
Yeah, that's not fair. It's not fair. So,
all right. AC comes in saying Baller's 100% in trouble. Yeah, we just covered that, which
I don't think he's on the team no matter what. I really don't.
Yeah, no, I think he's out.
I think we just saw it the last time Bellinger in a Giants uniform, probably this evening here.
Theodore Grifter, DeVito is better than any quarterback on the Jets roster. Yeah.
So am I.
Me too.
So am I. Danny Dimes could get the starting job there probably too, along with the Colts.
AC comes in. Definitely agree with Drew on the starting and Noah. All right, Tim Griff. Will the Giants cut DeVito and keep Wilson, Winston, and Dart under 53 starter? Yeah, that's saturated.
You can't let any of those guys potentially get picked up. I mean, keep in mind the way it works. If you want to keep two quarterbacks, hypothetically, you'd have to do one of two things. You'd either have to go ahead and trade one of them, or you'd have to cut them and hope that they're available to pick back up to put on the practice squad. Let me be very clear. Russell Wilson, they're not going to cut him. He's the starter. Jaxson Dart, they're not going to cut him. He's the future. And Jameis Winston, they're not going to cut him, because if that was the plan, they would go ahead and trade him. And Brandon Brown's already said they're not trading him. Yeah. So if he's come out publicly and said that, don't get me wrong, stranger things have happened. But it's unlikely that Jameis Winston is not going to be on this roster come Tuesday when the cut day happens.
Yeah. No. I thought Evan Neal Glazzy said dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was out there late, guys. That's one thing I noticed. He was out there late. And I think the Giants are really trying to give him as many snaps they can at guard, because quite frankly, they want him to win not just a roster spot. His contract already has him winning that. Let's be very frank in that. We gain nothing by cutting. He's another guy that, if it wasn't for the contract, he probably wouldn't make the roster, I think, in my eyes. But I think they really want him to eventually, at some point in the season, play a role on this offensive line. They really probably want him to take over for Greg Van Roten if Greg Van Roten has to move over to center and if JMS still struggles. A lot of ifs in these scenarios here, but they're all legitimate scenarios.
Listen, look at the Giants roster last year. They played for a lot of ifs, and they needed a lot of ifs because a lot of ifs happened.
A lot of ifs.
As back to Giants fan comes in saying it was a rough night for Neal, 100%.
Yep.
Derek Jones, hi all. Go Colts.
Go Colts. Listen, honestly, I'm going to say this as a Giant fan. I will be rooting for the Colts this season, point blank, because as much as I don't think Daniel Jones is a legitimate quarterback, and potentially even in this league, let alone as a starter, I root for the kid. He went through hell and back with this team, never spoke an ill word whatsoever. So we're going to root for him, point blank.
Yeah. Theodore Griffin comes in. I agree with Deb. Neal hasn't looked good. AC, DeVito could replace Danny Trash and Indy. Derek Jones, Danny Dimes, go Danny, go Daniel, go Daniel. What was that last year?
We're rooting for him. He's a nice guy. I can't help but root for him. But we've all had people at work that we've worked with that are nice people that aren't good at their jobs.
Yeah, listen,
and that's the category Daniel Jones is in.
You could like people at your job and not like working with them.
Yep.
Which that's DJ. And sometimes you like people you work with and not like them as a person. That's your Dable.
There's people I'd have a beer with in a heartbeat, but I wouldn't want to work with them again.
Yeah. As Deb comes in saying, you guys are the best. Love the show from the parking lot. Deb, we love you.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it. We had to listen. Again, when does Rob and I ever actually go on camera together? It never happens. So we got to take full advantage of it.
I mean, usually Drew's holding me because I start slumping down on my seat.
Yeah. Now people can actually see legitimately how tall I am. My gosh.
All right, where are we at here? Derek Jones.
We got sound effects here, even from the parking lot.
I said that Jones would be the QB in the NFL again. Yeah, we all did. But it's fine. Yeah, he's out of the Colts. It's not like he went. If he goes to the Saints, he gets the job too. It's not saying much.
Yeah, either one. It was not a difficult job. Again, beating Anthony Richardson is not an amazing accomplishment. Doesn't mean he's a good player now.
Yeah, he's going to lose. He's going to lose his job to Richardson by the end of the year, and he's going to have it back in.
I'm going to go say this. Since we got a Colts fan in the chat here talking about this, I'm going to call this right now. Your Colts are tanking. Point blank, your Colts are tanking. Because if you wanted a legitimate quarterback, you would have gone and gotten one. And you can't say, easier said than done. The Giants went and got Jaxson Dart. The Colts could have. The Giants went and signed Russell Wilson. The Colts could have. The Giants went and signed Jameis Winston. The Colts could have. So the fact they went after the Giants' sloppy seconds here says
a lot.
Says point blank, they're tanking. And I'm not trying to be rude about it, point blank. I'm just calling it is.
They're tanking for years.
They're tanking.
Jeff Saturday. Jeez.
Oh, God.
All right. All right, AC Chapman runs through the defenses. I love it. He does.
Smash mouth football. We love it. Old school.
Tim Griff. Will the Giants trade Winston before week 1? Absolutely not.
Nope.
We already covered that.
He's staying.
All right. Derek Jones. Colts know a good QB when they see one.
Clearly they don't.
Yeah. It's been a while since they had one.
There's a lot of Colts comments there.
AC. Derek Jones equals troll? Question mark. 100%.
No. Listen, if you're a Colts fan and you're optimistic about that season, I don't want to knock you down. The season will do that for me. So, listen, be optimistic.
You've been out of luck since Andrew Luck.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
You've been out of luck since Andrew Luck. All right. Derek Jones is Daniel Jones fan.
Oh, my. Derek Jones might be Daniel Jones's burner account.
Yeah. So if that's true, it's DJ. Message us, so we'll have you on the show.
We would. Honestly, we would. I have no ill will on him.
Okay. All right. As Derek Jones, I'm simply glad that he won the Colts starting QB job. Jones needs he needs a fresh start where he can now play loose.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, he's in a good spot there. But so, guys, the big thing we got to talk about too is the fact that we had the one major injury, obviously, towards the end of the game, and I hope everything's all right. Everybody watched that play. We didn't get to see it necessarily very well from the stadium where we were at. We were in the end zone, so it was kind of a little more difficult to see that kind of play since you don't have a side view. But besides that play, with again major injury, I don't want to bring that part of it down there. But we didn't have any major injuries to anybody we thought is going to be a major role in this team overall in the season. And that was our biggest goal going into this. So we're good there. Giants just absolutely, again, just demolished the Patriots. This is probably the first time I can ever remember. We were talking about this. When's the last time the Giants did 30 points back-to-back games? When's the last time the Giants have scored, it's going to be like over 100 points in 3 games?
Well over 100 points. Yeah, 100 points in the last 2 games.
Yeah,
that's fine.
It's like 110, 120 points. I meant they do the math in my head here, and it just hurts. It's too late for that. We've had too many beers walking around here. Speaking of which, we should give a couple shout-outs there. We had a couple people we met in the parking lot. They asked us to shout them out, so we're going to let you guys know. The Six Flags crew, wherever y'all are at. Appreciate you guys. We have the guy from Minnesota. Yeah. I believe Minnesota A, don't you know, right?
Oh, yeah, the Minnesota fan.
Yeah, Minnesota A. So we had a couple people out there. We also had a lot of people asking us about potentially doing a call-in show. And you guys have mentioned that on our live shows as well before. So we may start doing something of that nature there. It might be kind of fun to do. A couple people have asked for it. So like I said, we may go ahead and start doing one of those as well. So any final thoughts or any final comments? Pop in the screen here. We're going to get going here in a minute, guys, because we still got about an hour and a half of driving to do after this as well. So,
as AC comes in, today was a complete domination, and I am beyond excited to see the preseason or not. 100%. Yep. Let's take that into the regular season. Deb comes in interested. When asked about a dual Dexter, he said he approved it. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Deb.
Yeah. I'm confused by that part there.
A call-in would be awesome, says AC. Mac, the Giants fan, great job from the park lot, fellas. Appreciate you. Derek
Listen, we always said we will do 3 shows per week, no matter what. We couldn't do our usual Thursday because we're both here, but we got a Thursday show. We got it.
Yeah, here we are.
That's continuing our streak.
As Derek comes in, says, haven't really followed the Giants preseason. That was amazing. Perhaps the preseason starts, I will watch them. As Chill Daddy comes in, Skinner still sucks. Go Giants. Come on,
Daddy. What did he do to you? Come on.
Where did he touch you? Show us on the goal where he touched you, man.
I'm starting to wonder if that's Bobby Skinner's burger. He was on last time he was on.
Justin, is that you?
Oh, God. Oh, sorry. We got a super chat. Super chat.
From Anthony. AC, bro. Appreciate
you, man. Thank you very much for supporting the show, guys.
Block out the light, thumbs up.
There we go.
All right.
Yeah, we set up the shot not very well street light wise. That's for sure. We wanted the stadium in the background. I mean, listen. We may not like the boring vanilla dome as we say it, but it looks nice on the outside. It does. It does look nice on the outside. So
it does.
If only it was nicer on the inside and had more amenities.
Yeah.
Like room for tall people.
Or wider seats for 2 broad guys.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So it is what it is, I guess. Got shoved into a plane to get here. I got shoved into a stadium to watch it here. So.
We're going to get shoved back in the car to drive back to Central Jersey.
A lot of shoving here. A lot of shoving.
So mean. I'm a pacifist.
Any final thoughts on the game there, Rob?
No, I mean, we pretty much hit it ahead. The Giants were dominant. It was great to see. Even the secondaries, it was...
We got interception.
We did.
Pick 6. And unfortunately, the same player got hurt later on. So, I mean, downfall there, but overall,
just the passing looks more confident overall between all 4 quarterbacks. They seem to want to throw the ball more compared to last year with Danny Dimes.
Well, the crazy thing is when you say that, they're still throwing it short, but they're throwing the ball with anticipation. We were preaching that all last year.
Yeah,
anticipation, as they would say that from the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yes.
So, but what it boils down to is when you hit a guy in stride and he can continue running, he's going to get yak. When you hit him where he's got to go back a little bit to get the ball, he's not going to get the yak yards. And that's what you're seeing, guys. You're seeing people throwing with purpose, throwing with anticipation. We're not throwing the ball deep very often. We are occasionally. But you're not seeing bomb after bomb after bomb being thrown by the Giants. It's still Dable's style offense, but now it's thrown with competent quarterbacks.
But it's also it's really setting up that deep ball where it's been big plays, where it's been Well, we haven't seen, like, we got up and jumped around.
Yeah.
With Gunner catching.
But again, that was a yak one. That's what I'm saying. That was a yak catch. But every so often, you're still, like you said, seeing the big bomb, like last week's 80-yard bomb at that point that Russell Wilson threw. But you're seeing it because the short stuff is setting it up, because we're throwing the ball competently with purpose. Love it. Absolutely love it.
Absolutely.
So, all right, guys, we're going to call it a night here. Like I said, a little bit of a shorter show than usual because, again, we're on the who knows when they're going to kick us out here even. So, we don't know what's going to happen here.
I mean, if we wait any longer, we might have to film from the Porta Johns over there.
We talked about doing that. We thought it'd be good acoustics. But like I said, we are going to go ahead and do our back to our regular schedules next week there. But we may make a little bit of a tweak midweek, just to give you guys a heads up. Because obviously Tuesday is cut day. We're going to have to figure out our schedule fully as far as that. So just heads up, keep an eye on that. Best way to do that, guys, if you hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the bell, go ahead and hit that bell on YouTube specifically, guys. Again, we don't hide the fact that we do prefer YouTube specifically, just because, quite frankly, they take better care of content creators.
They really do.
So you're helping us by watching on that platform. So, and we can say that freely because we're only on YouTube with this particular one here, because we're on a cell phone here with, wireless microphones here, just trying to get a show done for you guys there. So, again, we appreciate you guys for watching. Any other last comments we got here before we go? I thought I saw one more pop up. Oh, you already put your phone away and everything. Come on here.
Chill, Daddy. Who do you guys want to back up Russ?
Point blank, whoever Dable wants. That's what I'm going to say. Whoever Dable wants. I trust in Dable.
And Winston.
Yeah. But what I'm saying, if Dable sits there and says Dart's ready if need be, and that's what he feels confident with, listen, guys, we hired Dable to be the head coach. We hired him because he's supposedly a quarterback whisperer. Again, we've had our disagreements with how he actually is, but that's why we hired him. We hired Mike Kafka because he was involved with Patrick Mahomes and his development. If you hire those people, you have to trust they know what they're doing, regardless of your personal opinion on them as actual coaches. You hired them for a job. Let them do their job. So if the Giants think week 1 that Dart can be the backup and Jameis can be number 3, I'm okay with that. I don't think it's what I would do personally, but I'm not there.
Yeah, listen.
Not in the stadium, not on the sidelines, not there in the meeting room, not here at the practices like that. Dable has a lot more information than any of us do.
Winston did back up Dart today, so
yeah, but
it's true.
I think a lot of it is, though, I think they just wanted to get a little bit of time for Dart to go out there with the better quality opponents he would have faced in the second, third quarters like that. And it was classy, by the way, as well, to give a ton of time to Tommy DeVito today, because again, we don't think he's going to be on the roster in a couple of days, and this gives him a chance to show to the rest of the NFL teams what he can do.
17-20 looks pretty good.
Yeah. Look pretty damn good. So,
but AC comes in the comments saying, "I want Russ to back up Dart."
I knew someone's going to say it. I knew it. Listen, give him the time. Let him develop naturally. And again, whatever that's going to be, you got to trust we hire the right people to do that. Even though that's not necessarily what the Giants do, is hire the right people. We have to trust. Don't hire them if you can't trust them to make these decisions. That's what that job is for. So
yeah.
So. All righty, guys. Well, again, that's going to call it a night. We got to go out and hit the road here before security comes and gets us or something.
Yeah.
Who knows what's going to happen?
Moving back home around 1:30.
Who knows what time? But we'll be back Monday. And like I said, Monday we'll have it ironed out the rest of the week. Because, again, with cuts coming Tuesday and stuff, we might make a little bit of adjustments here and there. We got to talk about that part of it still. So, again, hit that like, hit that subscribe. As always, guys, we are live Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube, the preferred platform, along with Facebook, Twitter /X, Twitch, and of course, my favorite, my LinkedIn profile. Oh yes, and of course, as always, guys, we're available the next day on all the audio podcast platforms. That is, of course, Apple, Spotify, Amazon, all the big ones there. As we had the police walking by. If you haven't already, guys, again. Appreciate you guys watching, but hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that share button, hit the bell, hit the thumbs up. And again, guys, as always, Giant fans, go G-Man! Go G-Man! G-Man!